immediately scrambled two F-16 jets to intercept the Chinese fleet. When the US and Philippine jets arrived on the scene, they found over 160 Chinese fishing vessels operating in the Philippines.
The South China Sea has become a stage for a high-stakes drama, where geopolitical tensions are on full display. Recent clashes involving Chinese fishing vessels, US jets, and Philippine forces highlight the struggle for control. In a sea rich with disputes and power plays, the use of force raises critical questions about stability. It's not just a sea, it's a battleground of complexities and conflicts, shaping the future of the region. Understanding the South China Sea dispute. The South China Sea is a huge stretch of water with lots of valuable stuff, and many nearby countries argue about who gets what. China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Taiwan, Malaysia, and Brunei are all pointing fingers, saying, "This part is mine." One of the tricky spots is Scarborough Shoal, and it's in the area exclusively for the Philippines to use. Back in 2016, a group that decides on international disagreements said, "China, your claims are too big." But China didn't really listen. Even though there was a sort of official talk saying China can't grab everything, the arguments are still going on. China keeps trying to be the boss in the South China Sea using different tactics. This makes things tense, and it's not just about who gets the fish. It's about power and control. The countries around there, especially the Philippines, want the world to know it's their space. But China's actions show they have other ideas. So despite what the official talk said a few years ago, the South China Sea is still a place where countries are not seeing eye to eye. The illegal Chinese fishing activities. More than 160 Chinese fishing boats caused a big problem by doing illegal stuff near Scarborough Shoal. They not only entered an area that's only for the Philippines to use, but also started fishing without permission. This is a big deal because it's like going into someone's backyard without asking and taking things you're not supposed to. The Philippines owns this part of the sea, so these actions mess with their rights. It's not just about rules, it's also about nature. The illegal fishing can harm the sea life there, making things tough for the animals and plants. The Philippines and the United States joined forces to say, "Hey, this is not okay." They want to protect their area and make sure everyone follows the rules. It's like teaming up to tell the neighbors, "Stop doing things you're not supposed to in our yard." This incident is about standing up for what's right and making sure everyone plays fair in the Big Sea neighborhood. The confrontation. When the Chinese boats wouldn't leave, the United States and the Philippines teamed up and sent powerful F-16 jets to deal with the situation. These jets are like guardians of the sky and were sent to tell the Chinese boats, "You're not supposed to be here, go away." The pilots gave warnings, basically saying, "Time to leave or face the consequences." Even after the warnings, the Chinese boats didn't listen and kept doing their wrong activities. So the US jets had to do something more serious to protect the area. They had to shoot at the Chinese boats to make them scatter and stop what they were doing. It's a bit like when someone breaks the rules and you have to take stronger action to make them stop. The goal was to defend the area and make sure everyone follows the rules of the sea. It's not about picking a fight, but making it clear that breaking the rules has consequences, just like in any neighborhood where everyone needs to play by the same fair rules. The geopolitical context. Understanding why this incident is a big deal means looking at the larger picture in the South China Sea. China has been getting more and more involved in this area, not just with regular boats, but with a bigger military presence. They're building fake islands in the sea and putting military stuff on them. Imagine building forts in a game, but in real life. China is also creating super advanced weapons, like the DF-100 hypersonic missile. These missiles are super fast and tricky to stop, like really speedy airplanes. This makes the situation scarier for nearby countries, including the United States. It's like someone in your neighborhood getting way more powerful toys than everyone else. And it's not just about having cool stuff, it's about everyone feeling safe. So when we talk about this incident with the US jets and Chinese boats, it's not just about that moment. It's part of a bigger story where China is making a stronger presence in the area, and the fancy weapons they're developing are making everyone nervous. It's like a puzzle where each piece helps us see the whole picture of what's happening in the South China Sea. China's assertive military presence. People around the world are getting worried because China is putting more military stuff in the South China Sea. It's like they're making their own strong presence in this big area of water. China is even building fake islands with runways and military bases on them, almost like setting up mini military headquarters in the sea. This isn't just for show. It lets China show off its power and control important sea routes. This military action is making nearby countries uneasy. Imagine if someone in your neighborhood started building big forts and showing off their powerful toys. It would make you wonder about safety. Neighboring countries are feeling the same way, and some of them are asking the United States for help. It's like saying, hey, we need support because things are getting tense, and we want to make sure everyone plays fair in the sea. The concern isn't just about who has the coolest military stuff. It's about making sure everyone feels secure in this big watery neighborhood. The DF-100 hypersonic missile. China has come up with a super advanced weapon called the DF-100 hypersonic missile, and it's a big deal in the world of military stuff. These missiles are like rockets on steroids because they go super fast, faster than 5 times the speed of sound. Imagine an airplane that's lightning quick. What makes them tricky is that normal defense systems find it really hard to stop them. It's like trying to catch something that zooms by in the blink of an eye. Now, why is this important? Well, China decided to put these speedy missiles in the South China Sea. This makes the whole area even more crucial in the world of strategy. The United States and its buddies are now facing a big challenge because these missiles aren't easy to deal with. It's like playing a game, and suddenly someone brings in a new super tough player that changes everything. The presence of these hypersonic missiles makes the South China Sea a place where everyone needs to pay extra attention because the rules of the game just got more complicated and serious. Implications for the United States and its allies. The argument over the South China Sea and the recent clash point to a bunch of tricky problems in how countries deal with each other. For the United States and its friends, this isn't just about the sea. It's like a giant puzzle of challenges. The US cares a lot about what happens there because it has important reasons like making sure ships can sail freely, following the rules everyone agreed on, and keeping its buddies safe. In this recent showdown, the US didn't just talk. It used force to protect what matters. It's like saying, we're serious about keeping things fair and safe for everyone. The use of force is a strong message, showing that the US is ready to stand up for what it believes is right, especially when things are getting more tense with China. It's a bit like playing a game and deciding to make a big move to protect your team's goals. The South China Sea isn't just a faraway place. It's become a symbol of how countries like the US are ready to act when their important interests are on the line. Possible escalation and diplomatic solutions. Using military force in the South China Sea can make things worse and mess up how stable the area is. It's like pouring fuel on a fire and making everything more heated. To avoid this, it's really important for the countries involved to try talking instead of fighting. They need to use diplomacy, which is a fancy way of saying they should discuss things and find solutions without getting into a big fight. This talking should happen in international meetings where everyone gets a say and tries to agree on what's fair and right. It's a bit like sitting down with neighbors to sort out problems instead of arguing loudly in the street. In the shifting tides of the South China Sea, the recent confrontations underscore the urgency for diplomatic solutions. As nations navigate this watery battleground, finding common ground becomes paramount. The international community must foster dialogue, seeking peaceful resolutions to avoid further escalation. The sea, once marred by tensions, holds the promise of stability through collaboration and understanding. The future of the region depends on embracing diplomacy over discord.